off the play fake. Towards the end zone. Down the middle. Deep. One-handed catch. How in the world? You have to be kidding me. That is impossible. That is absolutely impossible what he just did. That may be the greatest catch I've ever seen in my life.
Good morning. Welcome to Destination Fantasy Podcast, Week 8 edition. I'm here with my brother, Deshaun. How are you?
Wonderful, man. Wonderful. How about yourself?
Hey, I can't complain, man. Let's see. Got the extra hour of sleep. Halloween just passed. We basically about to start hearing Christmas music right now.
Boy.
So you already know what to expect. All right. So let's get right into it. All right. So Thursday, we had the Falcons at the Panthers. This game was a weird game. I feel like the only player that really balled out was Julio Jones. I know you were owner of his in, I think, multiple leagues. So I know you was happy with his production. On my end, I had DJ Moore, Mike Davis. I got Mike Davis, I think, in like 2 leagues, who was underwhelming to say the least. I felt like it should have been a lot more productivity all the way around as far as fantasy numbers. But I guess it's just how it flows, especially on Thursday night games. What's your take?
I mean, my take is that I just saw this more so as a game for Carolina to make a statement. Carolina has been playing, fairly well. And I legit thought Robbie Anderson was going to pop off. DJ Moore was going to pop off against that atrocious Falcons secondary, but they really didn't come to play. And again, it was like I fell asleep on the game. I'm not gonna lie. Like the game from just a regular football perspective, it was a boring one. But I was definitely hoping that I saw like a little bit more fireworks out of the Carolina side of the football.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Calvin Ridley owners, I know there was a scare when you saw him go down with the ankle injury and didn't return. He couldn't put any pressure on it. As of right now, it's looking like, week to week type scenario. I believe they have a bye coming up, so they probably just wait till after the bye and then probably bring him back out there. So yeah, we'll see, because Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones is probably one of the top fantasy tandems in the league right now. So, and I know that was one of your predictions there. So
yep.
So I think they'll stay on track for that one. Let's talk about Christian McCaffrey.
Okay.
Because at this point he was activated from IR and he didn't practice, but it seems like going forward, he will be back into the lineup, and it will be the end of the Mike Davis stint in Carolina as far as fantasy relevance. So how do you feel about that?
I mean, it was a pretty good one, though. Like early on, man, Mike Davis was like balling. Like he really filled CMC shoes well. Like he did a very good job. But as of like the past couple of weeks, it's like, Davis owner's been like, come on, I need like a little bit more production. And again, last week, I thought he was gonna pop off. Like I think a lot of people did, but hopefully all CMC owners out there have, withstood like this strong test of, injuries and rewarded with basically the number 1 overall draft pick inside of many fantasy football leagues. So
right, because I tell you what, if you have a winning record right now and CMC is coming back, I know you're feeling really good about yourself.
Absolutely.
I mean, even if you don't have a winning record, but if you like right on the cusp of the playoff, right in the wild card spot of your playoff league, of your fantasy football league rather, and CMC coming back, and you're definitely feeling good. So basically, like you said, if you weather this storm, you're definitely in good shape here.
For sure.
So yeah, and then in other news, hey, Le'Veon Bell, he's going against his former team today. Let's see, Chiefs, Jets. They got the spread at 19.5. 19.5. I've never seen the spread that high entering a game.
You know what? I I don't even need to check the spread for like the highest spread for this year. I mean, that is ridiculous. And for some strange reason, I I think it could be higher. Like I legit think it could be higher, man. It's dude, like the Jets right now are like a wasteland. Like you let go all of your best players. You know, right. I mean, all those guys are gone. And to top it off, the most consistent fantasy, player that you have on your team isn't playing this week, and Jamison Crowder. So it's like, I mean, come on, man. Like I really feel bad for Sam Darnold like that. I think he's wasting away some of his years.
Yeah, and I feel like he's getting like a unfair, like, he's in an unfair situation because, they're in the tank for Trevor, sweepstakes here, and right. They end up with the number 1 pick. It just makes things really dicey. It could turn into another Josh Rosen situation, but I feel like Darnold is definitely head and shoulders above Josh Rosen. So,
for sure.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. Excuse me. All right, and then, so with that being said, with Le'Veon Bell revenge game, do you see him as a viable flex option today?
I actually do. Like, why wouldn't you want to get? What's a better way to get a new member of your team motivated? Playing against a former team in which he wants to do a little bit of damage to, just to show him, like, hey, this is what I could have been doing if you guys would have played me right. We already know the history that he had with Adam Gase and like some upper management there with the Jets. Trust me, this guy is extremely excited to. I mean, who wouldn't? You went from playing on the worst football team, and now you just jumped to arguably the best football team. Like, who wouldn't be jumping for joy right now?
Exactly. So, all right, we're going to touch on the injury side of the news here. So, as far as there's a lot of people that's out this week, you already touched on Jamison Crowder. Mm-hmm. The Saints wide receiver duo again of Michael Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders are both out. Joe Mixon out again for a second week. So is Aaron Jones. Deebo Samuel. Julian Edelman had a procedure on his knee earlier this week, and he's out for the foreseeable future. Also, who I didn't put on this list, N'Keal Harry. So I don't know who Cam Newton's throwing the ball to today. Allen Robinson cleared concussion protocol, so he's on schedule to play today. Dallas Goedert's been activated, so you'll see him tonight.
Woo, I need him. I need him, bro.
And Chris Carson, like the way that he got hurt, like he wasn't even supposed to be back.
Right.
But he's a true game time decision today. So is Tyler Higbee. So we'll see what happens with that. And then the return of Dalvin Cook for those fantasy owners who have him in leagues. There you go. And Phillip Lindsay is expected to play.
Man, big names here, man. Lots of let me just touch on like the Joe Mixon and Aaron Jones thing. In one league, in our main league, actually, I picked up both of the running backs, the backups to those, which were Giovanni Bernard and Jamal Williams. And I'm playing them both this week. Why not? Both of those guys scored a touchdown last week. I believe Giovanni Bernard's was a receiving one, and Jamal Williams had a rushing one. So I look for these guys to get a lot of work. So if you got those guys, both of those guys, Gio Bernard, and you got a Jamal Williams, go ahead and fire those guys up because they can give you RB2 production. So if you were smart like me and definitely in desperation mode, go ahead and fire those guys up today.
All right. So, I feel like this is a perfect segue into our fantasy league here. Let's put up the records. I feel like I'm definitely feeling good about my leagues here. I'm climbing up out the cellar out of my work league, 1-2 in a row there. In my 16-teamer, I'm 6-1. I'm feeling really good about that one. Looks like on your end, I feel like things are the main league is starting to get itself back in order.
I think so, man. And like the weird takeaway about this matchup for me this week is that I am sitting Ezekiel Elliott this week. Yep. I'm sitting Zeke because again, with this league, I am in desperation mode, right? So it's for like the past couple of weeks, Zeke hasn't been Zeke. He has like the fumble issues. He's missing his main quarterback there. Like they just haven't had time to move the football. And I need some for sure points right now. So I cannot believe that I am starting a top 5. Dude, who would start who would sit a healthy Ezekiel Elliott? Like, that is tough. But again, I need those for sure points right now, and he just haven't been this. And the funny thing about it is, I think this is a week in which he will find pay dirt. Now, again, I don't think that he'll have a monstrous game against that strong, very strong front of the Philadelphia Eagles, but I think he can actually get it turned around. And it looks like they have Ben DiNucci starting today. Don't know much about the guy, but I just know that he can use his wheels. So hopefully he can give, Dallas some sort of spark that Andy Dalton cannot.
Man, Ben DiNucci. I went in on that man yesterday on the early morning sports talk podcast. I went in on that man. And no worry, we'll spend a little time on Mr. DiNucci later on.
Okay.
But just looking at your matchup here, Julio definitely did you justice there.
Definitely set the pace for me this week. So, yep.
He did, and you know what? James Conner against Baltimore. James Conner's been solid. Jamal Williams definitely did a lot of work last week. Minnesota, I feel like it's a solid matchup for him. Gio Bernard should definitely – I could see him getting around 20 points today easily. I think you're probably in good shape here today.
I'm hoping, man. I need the wins. Again, this team has just went all into full desperation mode right now. I gotta find some way to get back inside the mix.
You gotta do what you gotta do. I think the X factor for his team is probably Derek Carr. Because
let me ask you this while we're still up on the topic, and this is live, right? Because I didn't ask anybody this. So I got Dallas Goedert in my injured reserve spot. You think I should fire him up? Evan Ingram has been mad inconsistent right now, and I'm not sure how many snaps Dallas Goedert is to play today, but I just don't think he can be no worse than what Evan Ingram has, given me. So, what do you think about that?
I 100% agree with you. I would start Dallas Goedert as a no-brainer.
Okay.
For one, matchup says Goddard will have a better chance of putting up a lot more points than Ingram. Ingram going against that very stellar defense of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yep.
And we already know how fun-sized the Dallas Cowboys defense is right now, and lackluster performances and everything else are attached along with it. And I'm pretty sure Carson Wentz will be happy to get a familiar target back that he probably hasn't seen in so long. So, I would definitely play Goddard by far.
I think I am, man. I think I'm going to go ahead and, remove him off the IR. Go ahead and get him in there.
There you go. So, definitely good luck today against Jake. Shout out to Jake. He's always have a strong squad every year.
Always in the mix, man.
Always. All right, so I'm going against our two-time defending champ, Chris. Shout out to Chris. I know we mentioned the Panthers-Falcons game, and this was the lackluster performances I was talking about here. Like, DJ Moore didn't even catch a pass until the second half, and I'm sitting here like, this makes no sense, and he's been wide open the whole game. The ball just never got to him.
Wow.
Mike Davis should have put up a lot more points than what he did. But like we mentioned earlier, this be the last week that that Mike Davis will be fantasy relevant right now because CMC is expected to come back. Alvin Kamara, I feel like he's going to have a great game today for a couple of reasons. One, Drew Brees has nobody to pass the ball to from the X position or the Z position. There's nobody on the outside. Traquan Swift, maybe Jared Cook, Alvin Kamara. Yeah, I believe Alvin Kamara going to get a lot of those targets. And then two, unfortunately, my Bears run defense isn't the best, so they can be exposed that way until Roquan Smith can actually tackle somebody. That's what it is. I do have Le'Veon Bell in my flex today.
Nice. Okay.
Considering my options here, it was either him or Henry Ruggs, and I feel like game flow is in my favor on that one. So we'll see. I may change at the last second, but I feel like Le'Veon Bell should, have a pretty good chance to put up some points.
Yeah, I'm looking at it here, and it looks like you do have better options, but they are on bye, as I'm seeing. Like Antonio Gibson, man, he's been balling this year, man. Like he has been him and what's the wide receiver there? His name really
McLaurin.
Man, those guys have been amazing inside that crap, I almost called them the Redskins. I'm sorry. Washington football team. Like they've been balling for them right now. So
they have, man. They've been the only things positive about the football team. So yeah. This week a lot of buys, but need to weather the storm here. It's quarterbacks. I feel like Russell's been balling for him all year. Lamar Jackson. It's like with Lamar Jackson, he like last year he set the bar so high that more times than not he was going to hit that same level again.
Mm-hmm.
But he's been solid though. He's still been solid.
Right.
Keenan Allen, AJ Green been coming on as of late. This is a revenge game for Melvin Gordon today, so he might put up some numbers there. Tyler Boyd, he definitely got the wide receivers for the matchup today. We were going to discuss that in a few, but yeah, I think I'm in for a dogfight, especially since my two Panthers players wet the bed. So it is what it is. That's why Herm Edwards said you play to win the game, right?
Yep, you know it.
All right. So with that being said, let's get into some couple of key matchups today. The first one we're going to spend time on is the Raiders at the Browns. I'll take the Raiders side here.
Okay.
Derek Carr, like I extremely love him today. He is a strong streaming option here today. I feel like he is a low-end QB1 today. It is a tremendous matchup. I feel like the way that like the Browns can be had, right? Like, at times the Browns show flashes of greatness on defense with Myles Garrett. Like Myles Garrett gonna get his, but at times you can definitely put up points against the Browns. So with that being said, definitely if you got them, start them, especially in DFS. Josh Jacobs, I feel like this is a bounce back game from him. Last week was the worst game of the season for him. 10 carries, 17 yards. It was abysmal.
Brutal.
I think 6.6 fantasy points. Like, it's a tough outing. Once again, it was a tough matchup against the Bucs. It is what it is. This is definitely a more friendly matchup for him. I do like him a lot. You started him. I mean, you draft him to be your RB1. It's not the circumstances of the Cowboys with Ezekiel Elliott, so you don't have to think twice about benching him. You started him.
Right.
Henry Ruggs, I do like him as a flex play. Like I do have him on my bench. I may just flex him today in my main league. We'll see. But I do like him. Of course, Waller the baller. Waller the baller should go off today. So with that being said, if you got Las Vegas Raiders players, you are starting them today.
Okay. So for Cleveland, so we all know OBJ is out for the season. And, I think Jarvis Landry gets a little bit of an uptick, but the guy who we saw who, kind of filled in that role for OBJ was Harrison Bryant. He caught 2 touchdowns last week. And even the backup, he was supposed to be the main guy, David Njoku, caught a touchdown as well. But Njoku's out in this game. I don't think David Njoku will be playing in this game. I would have to double check that, but I do believe he is out, and that opens up things for Harrison Bryant there. So I think Harrison Bryant can be a back-end tight end 1 in a position that is tight end hasn't been like one of those strong positions. So if you're looking for a streaming option, if someone is on bye this week, go ahead and give Harrison Bryant, the tight end from Cleveland, a look. And like I said, Jarvis Landry should be great. And I believe that on the Raiders side, they are 31st in the league against the rush. So it's going to be a lot of Kareem Hunt today. Kareem Hunt is a fantastic play. He will be a top 5 running back this week. He's going to get just volume on top of volume today. Even Baker Mayfield should do fairly well against that Las Vegas defense. So outside of that, I don't think that anybody should be deserving of a look. I'm trying to see.
What about Rashad Higgins?
Oh, that's okay. So that's the guy who I missed. Okay, so Rashard Higgins, he is supposed to be the guy that's going to automatically step into OBJ's role, right? So even in deeper leagues, I think he is worth a nod today. I think he is 12 teamers, 14, 16 team leagues that you're in. I think that he is worth a flex consideration today. He definitely has flex appeal.
Nice. And then I just checked the injury with Njoku. He doesn't have a designation there, so he should be able to play today.
Okay, so he is playing. Okay.
Yep. So yeah, this game here, I believe this is part of the early matchups. Double checking. Yeah, 12 o'clock game, Central Time. Right, so definitely looking forward to checking that one out. This next one here, I kind of like too. Tennessee at Cincinnati. Excuse me. I'm gonna take the Cincinnati side here.
Okay.
All right. So Joe Burrow, he's a great streaming option. He's top 5. Matter of fact, I want to say he's number 1 in pass attempts and number 1 in it's another significant passing category. And I know he's top 5 in passing yards. So you definitely know what you're getting out this man. He is slinging the ball around. And, that's due to a lot of the time that Cincinnati is playing from behind. But he's an excellent thrower of the football. And Tennessee can be had. Tennessee pass defense has been their secondary has been atrocious. So Joe Burrow is a sneaky flex, not flex play, but streaming option here today. I feel like he has high QB2 low, QB1 upside here. And
I agree.
It can honestly sneak into your top 5 today. So I'm just saying he's a sneaky play.
I like that matchup. I really do.
Likewise. And then you got Gio Bernard because Joe Mixon's out. I feel like Gio is a excellent. If you have him as your flex, I feel like you're in great shape. Even as an RB2, I have no problem with that whatsoever. Agreed. And he can probably sneak into the top 10 today because he's one of the team captains. He's been there for so long. He knows the scheme. It's probably one of the most seamless fits when your starter comes out. It's seamless. So definitely play him if you got him. Now the wide receivers, I feel like Tyler Boyd, AJ Green, and T. Higgins are all fantasy relevant today.
Weapons. Burrow's got some weapons, bro. Burrow has some weapons. So, and I think that's the main reason I like him so much this week.
He does, and I feel like they're all fantasy relevant. I feel like Tyler Boyd is a wide receiver 2. I feel like AJ Green is a low-end wide receiver 2 with some flex upside. T. Higgins is a strong flex play today and could be a low-end wide receiver 2. They're all, if you have them, play them. This is a great matchup. Once again, the Tennessee Titans secondary is atrocious. They are giving up a lot of points to wide receivers. Play them. And basically, you're playing your Cincinnati players today.
Got that right. All right, on the Tennessee side of the football, Ryan Tannehill. This guy hasn't got a lot of consideration for the MVP. Talks. He's not the flashiest of players, but today, I think you and I can both agree, Jamar, that it's going to be a lot of points probably scored up in this game because the lack of defenses. And both these teams do have the weapons to be able to put points on the board and put points on the board pretty fast. Okay, right. So no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I do believe that Ryan Tannehill is a top 12 quarterback play. So I am going to give him back end QB1 potential in this game. Definitely, if you got him as a QB2 in the dual quarterback league, man, you're freaking set. So the running back, come on, Derrick Henry, no brainer. He's one of those players that you're going to start no matter what. This guy can end careers with the stiff arm. You know what I mean? So you're definitely going to play him. And the bright spot, ever since A.J. Brown has been back, he has scored a touchdown in every game, in every football game. So this guy is super talented, and this is the reason why you picked him to be that strong wide receiver 2, back end wide receiver 1, and he's showing you exactly why with his production as of late. So let's go ahead and go over to the tight end side of things. Jonnu Smith has been underwhelming the past couple of weeks. He had a couple of good matchups. I know the one at Pitt was a little bit tough, And I believe so. He scored 1 point last week. That was like brutal for a guy who's been balling. But this is his get right week. Cincinnati has been terrible at stopping the tight end this season, so I think he even finds pay dirt in this one.
I believe so. Like it's crazy. Like, how do you have two monsters on your team between Derrick Henry and AJ Brown? Like, these guys are monsters,
dude. I mean, I'm not sure if everybody has seen like AJ Brown. Like, dude, he's physically imposing. If you actually saw this guy, I mean, he isn't like this little guy. He's a cut up dude, man.
Like he's probably the only one on that team that Derrick Henry does not like make him feel like small.
Right.
He's, like everybody else. Like, that's why I call Derrick Henry a monster amongst men. Like, that's what he is. And AJ Brown is darn near in that category.
He's definitely playing for the right team, the Titans, man, because that guy is every bit of a Titan.
Facts, man. All right, we're gonna get into probably a game that's near and dear to your heart. Pittsburgh and Baltimore. Take it away, sir.
Pittsburgh Nation, we here, baby. Stand up. You know what I mean? We're still undefeated. We still look good in the game that I picked at the beginning of the season. So we are on the road, right? So this will be a very, very tough game. It'll be another measuring stick game, just like we had last week, to really see how good this offense can go. Again, Ben Roethlisberger on the road, completely different guy, right? Ben Roethlisberger, in my opinion, is a middle of the pack QB 2 in this football game. James Conner, like you said earlier, Jamar, has been a solid option at running back. He's just been getting the job done. A lot of guys wanted to write him off and say he hasn't been the guy, but he's been very, very extremely solid. Juju Smith-Schuster is another intriguing like name that I want to bring up, just because his production or lack thereof. I mean, it just hasn't been there. I don't trust him in this game. I'm not sure if they're going to give him that Marlon Humphrey signature coverage in this one, or maybe they're going to give it to the other wide receiver I'm going to name, in Chase Claypool. I heard that they even used Dez Bryant, who is with them now, and made him play the Chase Claypool role in practice, just so they can figure out a way how to stop this guy, because he has been so explosive. So, but Chase Claypool, again, maybe a good flex option in deeper leagues. But the secondary, the strongest start in the secondary in this receiving core is Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson has been a guy who's been extremely solid since he has come back from injury. Eric Ebron, maybe in deeper leagues, can warrant. Tight end has been a position that it just truly hasn't been there. There hasn't been 10 consistent tight end players. So maybe Ebron gets a look this week.
Hey, maybe so. No, I definitely like your the Steelers offense to still put up points even in this division battle.
Yep.
All right, I am going to go with the Baltimore Ravens side. So Lamar Jackson, like I mentioned maybe a few minutes ago, I know he's not playing at the level that he played last year, but last year was a historical level, just like a couple of years ago when Patrick Mahomes had the MVP season, was playing bonkers, and last year he didn't live up to that. I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes you have historical performances, seasons that just above and beyond, that you can't even reach again. But that's what makes it special, though. Lamar Jackson, he's still. I mean, you're starting regardless. That's a set and forget it type player.
Matchup proof.
Yeah, his floor is too high. His floor is higher than a lot of guys' ceilings. That's how good he is. So, enough of Lamar Jackson. All right, the running back situation is pretty interesting because I don't believe Mark Ingram is playing today.
Oh, wow.
So that will leave the door open for Gus Edwards and our boy, J.K. Dobbins.
Okay.
So, see, here's the thing. Like, if all three of those guys are active, I'm not touching them. If one misses, then okay, you got my attention. So I know your team. And here's the crazy thing, because I'm sitting here, I got Dobbins in my work league, and I'm like, man, if Ingram was I wish it was any other team but the Steelers, because
Right.
I would definitely consider Dobbins in my lineup like a no-brainer.
I mean, our bread and butter has been being able to stop the run, right? So
Right.
it's even in that backfield, it's always so uncertain. And like you said, like one player is missing, like that just gives you like that light bulb, like, oh man, which one of these guys are going to ball out? Is this going to be J.K. Dobbins? Open it? No, not against this defense. I can't.
Yeah, so I can't do it. I was if you have to, if you have to use them as a flex or you had options for RB2s, I get it.
Oh yeah.
If you have other options, please use them. This is not a matchup for it. Even Derrick Henry wasn't himself last week, but then again, I mean, it's still his defense, and it is what it is. Just like I said, you got other options. That's what you're playing. Wideouts. Hollywood Brown. I think he can. I definitely think he has value today.
And I'm gonna say this, Jamar. The Steelers, as good as the secondary may seem on paper, they have allowed the most, I think, net yards per catch or something like that. So they do allow big plays to happen. We've seen that with AJ Brown last week. Man, I think he scored like a 70-yard touchdown or something like that.
Sheesh.
Broke my heart.
I think, yeah, you're right. Oh boy. So yeah, Hollywood Brown definitely has value here.
Yeah.
Mark Andrews, you definitely starting.
Oh yeah.
And speaking of Dez Bryant, which I forgot to, mention in the news segment, with him officially signing with the practice squad of the Ravens, like just outside of fantasy football purposes, just from X's and O's, like I'm happy for Dez because I've seen videos of him recently of, just him staying in shape and, just being a professional and just wanting another chance, look like he's getting it. And if the Ravens was to call him up, which I feel like they better activate him because they need him.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a good move for him. So hope he is back, and then maybe we can talk some fantasy football with him at one point. But yeah, man, this is going to be a hard-nosed battle across the board. I believe this is a noon game as well. So
I believe it's been flexed.
Has it really?
I think, yeah. Let me double check here, but I think that game was flexed to 3:00, if I'm not mistaken.
Hey,
which is good for me because I will actually be able to watch the game.
Nice. Wouldn't bother me one bit. So, hey, while you checking that, I'm
Nope, it's still at noon. It's still at noon. Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. All right, we're gonna get into another division game. San Fran at Seattle. Who you want to take here? Doesn't matter to me.
I'm going to take Seattle, coming off of a loss, right? To Kyler Murray and company. So I know you mentioned that Lamar Jackson hasn't been putting up Lamar Jackson numbers, as of late. That's because Kyler Murray has, to be completely honest. Like it's if we can compare what the two have done from just a fantasy standpoint,
right?
Kyler Murray has been this year's Lamar Jackson. Basically, he has been phenomenal. But again, I always praise this guy, so I'm just go ahead and stick with Russell Wilson in this one. And coming off of a loss, I can see Seattle firing on all cylinders. I think that they want to get let's talk about that. Let's talk about that run, right? The run that happened with Buda Baker. And yeah. So you got a guy up on your team that can do that. And like I'm watching this real time, and like, dude, my mouth is like,
yeah,
I'm legit. He's about to catch him, man. I'm like, so DK is just one like specimen, and you always want like a football player like that on your team, like a guy who's going to make a play when it's not even truly his play to make. And I think they're going to get him involved. I can see this being a very good game for DK Metcalf. We already know Tyler Lockett had this amazing game, and I think that they want to get DK Metcalf a little bit involved. But both of those guys are extremely good plays this week. Chris Carson, again, a true game time decision So this is a 3:00 game, considering it's up on the West Coast, I believe. So that means that you would have to have other options if you cannot have Chris Carson ready to go. So definitely play this one by ear. Definitely pay attention to this one before the noon times. Russ will be Russ. It's looking like they're gonna start to really unleash Russell Wilson, and this. I even like that they even utilized a couple of naked bootlegs for him. Like they even getting this guy to actually use his legs, which is really, really good.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? Because if Carson doesn't play, Carlos Hyde probably not gonna play either due to a hamstring.
Travis Homer would be the guy who would be next up, right?
Nah, it's starting to look like a dude named DJ Dallas.
Oh wow, never heard of the guy. Like I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, it's
kind of like our guy Ben DiNucci here.
Oh my gosh. Ben DiNucci, we'll be talking about you soon, my friend. All right, so San Fran side. So and then really quick before I get to the San Fran side, Seattle was last year, just from a football standpoint, was a half yard away from having the number 1 seed and probably would have been the team in the Super Bowl, in my opinion. So I'm pretty sure they have that on their mind as far as the San Francisco team, who is still kind of depleted in a sense. Jimmy G. Seattle. We all know Seattle's defense is just trash across the board. So, I still feel like there's 10, 12 better quarterback options instead of Jimmy G. But I feel like in a 2-quarterback league, I feel very comfortable as my QB2.
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh yeah. DFS, yes, by all means. Running backs. Oh boy, like San Fran's been through a lot, right?
Oh yeah, tough, right? That's truly a tough call. I don't think it's one running back that has carried the ball for them who isn't banged up or who hasn't been banged up. So
yeah, it's crazy because most are still not around. I know they activated Coleman, but I'm not touching that. Jared McKinnon, like he only played like, was it 3 snaps? Only had 1 run for a -1 yard last week.
That was weird to me, man. I definitely wasn't expecting that.
And then what's his name? Hasty. He looks stellar. And then what's his name? Jeff Wilson got hurt, but he was looking stellar as well.
It's like no matter who they put in the backfield, they just I don't know, man.
It's wild. It's like the 49ers is probably like the one team that can just have like 20 running backs on their roster, but all of them
produce.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. So I guess in this order, as far as running backs, we Hasty 1, McKinnon 2, Coleman 3.
I can live with that.
And Hasty's probably the only one that I'm like have any confidence of starting, just because there's so many unknowns with what the split would be with the other guys. That's where we're at. So yeah, Hasty be the guy. And then Whitehouse, Debo is out. He just got back and he's out again. So what's his name? Brandon Ayuk. I like him. I really do.
Love him. This matchup is too good to ignore, man. Like this secondary was just been obliterated through every single game of this season by some wide receiver. It don't even have to be a big name wide receiver. They just been ripping the secondary to shred. Legion of Boom is no more. And if you have a starting productive caliber wide receiver, you're going to play him against their secondary. And like you mentioned, Brandon Ayuk, great play. Love him. And I'm starting him today in 2 leagues. 1 as a wide receiver, 2 due to who do I have up on by DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins is out in this league. So and again, another league I'm starting him as a flex because that ceiling against this defense, you only need 1 catch to make a difference.
Facts. And even Kendrick Bourne might even have some fantasy value in deeper leagues. It's crazy.
Yep.
But I feel like the guy that should eat and continue to eat is George Kittle.
What do you say? Over under 10 catches in this game?
Ooh. Ooh. You know what? I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna say 11.
Oh,
11 12.
wow. Okay. All right. I'm gonna say even. I'm gonna say 10 catches in this game.
Either way, we were basically saying just how much of a target share this guy should get tonight.
Yep.
He should definitely ball out. So yeah, love George Kittle. We love Brandon Ayuk. Hasty could still do his thing, even though Seattle did trade for Chris Dunlap as a pass rusher, but that doesn't put a Band-Aid on the secondary. So I mean, we'll see, but this should be definitely an intriguing game. I'll definitely tune in. And now, to get to our boy, Ben DiNucci with the Dallas Cowboys.
Ben DiNucci, man. Oh my gosh.
All right, so I'm definitely taking Dallas side on this one.
Okay.
All right, so like I feel like I've seen that name on the menu at Carrabba's or Olive Garden. I kid you not.
The Ben DiNucci, okay.
And I was telling Brandon yesterday on the podcast, like I'm calling him Little Ben. He's definitely not Big Ben. He's Little Ben to otherwise, because Andy Dalton got towed up with that head concussions. He's out. Ben DiNucci came in. He wasn't any better, man. I mean, there's like it's crazy. At every bad play on offense that the Cowboys have, I feel like it's more and more money in Dak Prescott's pocket. That's how I feel.
Facts.
Can't tell me otherwise. I'm still mad at Jerry Jones for not even getting a deal done with this dude. I'm not gonna go into my true feelings about Jerry Jones. It's not the appropriate time. I mean, with him at the helm, it's kind of hard to give a lot of people fantasy value. It really is. I mean, Zeke, it seemed like he's the safe option, but ever since that's gone, it looks like he's stealing money from the Cowboys. So it's like, I don't know.
Right. And it's like the thing about it. I would never go out there and tell the world not to start Zeke Elliott, right? Like not to start him, because he is that caliber. He only needs one catch or one good block or one good run in order to make fantasy impact. I'm not saying don't start the guy. Only thing I'm saying is if you have better options at the running back position, just consider it. And I'm not even saying like just, don't pay attention to it. Just give it some consideration. Like you see, I'm starting 2 players over him because I am in desperation mode and I need the points. I need the guaranteed points here.
I mean, absolutely. And the offensive line is banged up,
bro.
So it's like if you're playing Ezekiel Elliott, I know for a fact you're not playing him with confidence. You're not, but you're just hoping that they can continue to give him the ball, especially with DiNucci in the game, and lack of experience there. So we'll see. Pass catches, like, because at one point the height of this offense, it could have produced 3 fantasy relevant wide receivers.
That was my God, yeah.
Now we're down to 1.
Yep. If that.
Yeah, but you have to start Amari Cooper.
Yep.
He's definitely not a wide receiver 1 right now. He's a middle of the pack wide receiver 2 at best, unless DiNucci can just take off and just force feeding the ball. We'll see. Michael Gallup become definitely irrelevant. CeeDee Lamb, it's like
I didn't see that one coming, bro. I did not see that one coming, considering that what an inexperienced quarterback or a quarterback who hasn't had much time to gel with the team. He likes to, check down. He likes to throw to the running backs. He likes to throw to the slot position. He likes to throw to like the tight ends. So you would think that CD would have at least an okay game. I don't think he had a point last week. I don't think CeeDee Lamb had a point. So to concur with what you just said, bro, these pass catchers are I have zero confidence in them right now until otherwise proven.
Bro, I saw a meme and I laugh too hard every time I see it. It basically says Dallas traveled all the way to Washington, D.C. to kick a field goal.
And you're right. Oh my God, that's awful, man. and you know what? And it's a shame as to a team as what could have been with that stellar offensive line, or it used to be stellar before all the injuries. This was like a team that had just fantasy players that you can start all of them, basically at every position. And I mean, you're seeing how important Dak Prescott meant to that football team.
Exactly, and this is just a testament to show that, like, you have all the talent in the world, but if you can't get the ball from point A to point B, I mean, what's really good to have it then, right?
I'm with you, bro.
So yeah, go ahead and take it away. I forgot we had to talk about the Eagles.
So the Philly side, man, love. This is my quarterback play of the week, to be completely honest. Carson Wentz, man. And again, I know we touched on it a little bit last week. This is a quarterback who has had various changes to his backfield, various changes to his receiving core, and he's just been playing through it all. He has not, complained or moaned like one time. He's just been given, playing with the cards that he has been dealt. Tough guy, man, tough guy. And I like him this week. And he gets two key options in Jalen Reagor and Dallas Goedert back, which I am extremely excited about. So I think Dallas Goedert again. If you have if you don't have other options at tight end like myself, Evan Ingram, play him. Even if he plays 15 to 20 snaps today, I still think it can outproduce a underwhelming Evan Ingram or someone like that. Again, no Miles Sanders. Boston Scott is intriguing to me, but not as intriguing as to like play this guy as a RB2. You know what I mean? Maybe a flex in deeper leagues, but I believe that's it, man. They have had way too many injuries. Oh my God. Travis Fulgham. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize for that. Because this guy has been super consistent. And this week he warrants wide receiver 2 numbers, like strong wide receiver 2 numbers in this game. So I look for a lot of Fulgham in today's game.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. So yeah, somebody has to win in this battle in the NFC least. So
NFC least.
I expect Philly to just blow them out here. We'll see. And then just to jump ahead, since we're not on until next Sunday, we have a pretty good Thursday night matchup. Green Bay at San Fran. I'll take that bad man, even though I don't want to. All right, so
he is what he is, bro.
He is, man. He is. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, he's been playing lights out this year. I mean, pending anything that happens today, you're starting him by all means. Running back, maybe we'll have Aaron Jones back. If not, if you have Jamal Williams, you are definitely, keeping him at bay until you find out what's going on. Because Jamal Williams, last week definitely put up some big numbers. I feel like he's going to put up some numbers again today against Minnesota. So, just keep that in mind. Just keep a lookout for Aaron Jones, because honestly, it was supposed to. I think the initial report was supposed to have been just out a week.
Yes. So it's a little bit worse than what they projected. Yeah.
So just keep your eyes out on that. Pass catchers, of course, Devontae Adams. That's enough said. Your boy Tanyan, he's been solid. I would definitely consider playing him against San Fran. Everybody else, I'm not really too concerned with, but basically those 4. But definitely keep an eye out on the running back situation.
Okay. So on the San Fran side, I think it's going to be all the players that we mentioned, earlier in the earlier matchup. I do not think that they will get Deebo Samuel back. I do not believe that he'll be back on such short notice for a Thursday night game or something like that. But you're definitely going to play Kittle. Hopefully that backfield gets a little bit of clarity, because we know how well the start and running back for a San Francisco team produces. Jimmy Garoppolo would be at home on Thursday. So again, Jimmy G is too inconsistent for me, and at the best, depending upon matchup, I mean, he only warrants a QB2 start. So
yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. All right, so just touch on a couple other things. Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, Vikings at Packers. Dalvin Cook's back. I think Dalvin Cook will, do his thing, not miss a beat. Colts Lions. I think I can see Golladay having a good game. I think Mo Alley Cox might actually play. We'll see.
Okay.
For the Colts there. Jonathan Taylor might be a sneaky play today. Rams Dolphins. Tua's first game. I'm excited to see that.
I'm tuning in.
I just hope Aaron Donald don't break his hip again. But no, that should be an interesting game. And the crazy thing is, I tell you what, if Fitzpatrick was starting, I think I would have picked the Dolphins in the upset. But
I'm with you there. But I get it. Like they want to, ease Tua in there because he is, the franchise quarterback at this time. So
right, yeah. Pats at Bills, and it's like I feel bad for Cam because like this is getting worse than what Brady had last year. Like I don't know who he's throwing the ball to. I don't know I would actually have to look to see who's his two starting receivers and who's in the slot.
Wow. Yeah.
I don't know.
No Harry, no Edelman. I mean, who knows? After those two guys, I don't think anybody really understood a pass catcher outside of those two. So
yeah, so that might like Cam got to turn to the 2014, 2015 version of himself for them to win today. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I can't see it happening.
Me either. And then Justin Herbert, man, this dude is a monster coming out against the Broncos. I think Justin Herbert's gonna have a great day. Keenan Allen probably gonna have a great day as well. And Bucks tomorrow night, Monday night against the Giants. I don't even know why that's a Monday night game.
Man, they whoever scheduled that, shame on you. Nobody wants to see that.
Even before the season started, you should never schedule that game. So yeah, yeah. That's all I got, man. You got anything to add?
I do not, man. I do not.
All right. So thank you all for joining us today. You can catch us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Pod, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Check out our website, thedestinationfantasy.com. We got apparel for your favorite team, or you want to represent the brand. We got shirts, hoodies. We got joggers with the brand on it. Pretty soon, definitely look on the lookout. We're gonna have some dad hats and some winter hats coming along.
Oh, that's definitely coming. This is the time for like the hoodies, the dad hats, the sweats. Hey man, whatever you need as far as your fall apparel, we got you.
We do, and then definitely look out for Black Friday, #BuyBlack. We definitely gonna have a treat for you all. So yeah, for my brother Deshaun on Jamar, once again, Destination Fantasy Podcast. We will see you all next week.
Peace.